and for all of those shuhada, especially those who are slain on the day of Ashura in remembrance of Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam. For all of them, let us begin with a Surah Al-Fatiha. Bismillah. عظم الله أجورنا وأجوركم بمصابنا بأبي الأحرار سيد الشهداء أبي عبد الله الحسين وجعلنا من المنتظمين بمصابهم مع إمام منصور من آل محمد. Abu Abdullah al-Hussein stands alone on the day of Ashura in the lands of Karbala. If he looks to the right, he will see the place in which his Akbar fell with a spearhead embedded into his chest. If he looks towards the left, he will see that place in which Qasim ibn al-Hassan was trampled upon by the horse's hooves whilst he was still alive. If he looks beyond, he will see the place in which his beloved Abbas lies by the banks of the river Euphrates. He calls out, Hal min nasirin yansuruna? Is there an ocean inside the tents? Imam al-Hussein returns back in. He sees his son Sajjad. How is it possible that you are making this call that you are all alone? I know that you would never be left alone by your son Akbar. He says, O Sajjad, Akbar lies in a tent next to you. His chest has been opened up by the spearhead. Sajjad says, then I know you would never be left alone to make this call so long as Abbas is there. Tell me, where is my uncle Abbas? He says, Abbas lies by the banks of the river Euphrates. They severed his two arms. At this point, he says, then who is left? He says, there is none left but you and I from amongst the males. He looks towards Auntie Zainab. Zainab, hand me a stick and hand me a sword. Why do you want a stick and why do you want a sword? I want a stick so I have some strength to stand up, and I want I can defend the grandson of Rasulullah. He calls his family members. He begins to bid them their first farewell. He says to them one by one, after me, your Imam is Sajjad. And then he gives his wasiyah. He says, O Sajjad, when you return back to the city of Medina and you recount my tale, tell them Hussein sends his salams, but tell them to remember Hussein every time they drink a cold glass of water. Hussein puts on his armor. Hussein begins to depart. We are told that he ascends upon the horse, and as he wishes to ride out, Zuljana will not move. He again says, Zuljana, now is the time, we must enter into the battlefield. We are told that Zuljana turns his head towards his back, as if to be able to say, Hussein, there is a reason as to why I cannot move. Hussein looks towards the back. He sees his 4-year-old child, Sakina, clung towards the horse's hooves. Oh, Zuljana, do you take my father to the battlefield? Everyone who has gone has not come back. I saw my Akbar go, he did not come back. I saw Abbas go, he did not come back. Zuljana, will you really take my father from me? Hussein descends, there is no other way. She says, can you not take us to a faraway land? He says, even if we were to go to the farthest reaches of the Ummah, they would not let us live. She says, Father, then my last request, allow me to rest on your chest one last time, for you know that I cannot sleep properly unless I am on your chest. Hussein and Sakina embrace one last time. The next time Sakina will see Hussein, it will be that his chest has been trampled upon by the horse's hooves, and that his head will be placed upon a spike. She falls asleep. He calls out, Zainab, come and take Sakina back towards the cabs. Sakina is taken back towards the town. At that moment Zainab comes out. She says, oh my brother Hussein, there is one last departure for between me and you. Do you wish to know what is the wasiyah from our mother Fatima for you at this moment? He says, yes. She says, my mother told me to come and kiss you on your chest and upon your neck. Why upon my chest and on my neck? Because in a few minutes your head will be severed from your shoulders. Our Dhakirin tell us that Hussein responds, oh Zainab, do you wish to know the wasiyah from our mother Fatima for you? She says yes. He takes the arms of Zainab and kisses her wrists. Why do you kiss my wrists? Because in a few hours your hands will be shackled and you will be paraded from city to city. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam asks Zainab, oh Zainab, give me a cloth. She brings a cloth and he begins to tear it and then places upon him. He says, the reason why I do this is because when they ransack my body, if this is a piece of cloth that is not worth anything, then maybe they will leave it on me. At least this way my dignity will be kept. Hussein ascends upon the horse. This is the first farewell. He enters in towards the battlefield. As he enters, he begins to address them. He says, O army of Abu Sufyan, do you know who I am? Am I not the grandson of Rasulullah? They said, yes you are. He says, is it not that my mother is Fatima to Zahra? They say, yes you are. He says, is it not that Hamza, Sayyid al-Shuhada, is from my family? They said, yes he is. Tell me, is my uncle not Jaffer al-Tayyar, who has his wings in heaven, that he flies in heaven? They said, yes. He says, then why do you kill me? We kill you because of our hatred for Ali ibn Abi Talib. As he enters into the battlefield, there are different legions on one side and upon the other. He disperses them. He begins to fight and disperse them. As he fights, he reaches the banks of the river Euphrates. The hadith says that he descends from his horse. He places the water in his hands. He turns towards Zul'Jada and says, Zul'Jada, your thirst must be overwhelming for you. Take this water. We are told as Zul'Jada lifts his head and turns his face away as if to say, oh Hussein, the reason for my creation is because of you. How will I drink water whilst you are thirsty? At this moment the enemies call out, O Hussein, will you drink water whilst there is an attack upon your family members? He throws the water away. He gets up on the horse. He rides back only to find out that this was a ruse to stop him from drinking any water. He enters into the tents. He says, O Zainab, O Kulthum, O Rabab, O Sakina, O Farwa, this is the final farewell. Get ready for affliction. Bear patiently for what you are going to have to endure after me. At this moment, Umar ibn Sa'ad calls out to the army, attack him whilst he is distracted with his women. They begin to put their arrows in their bows. There are 4,000 master archmen. They begin to fire their arrows towards the tents of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. We don't know how many arrows hit the tents. We don't know if any of the women and children were struck by those tents. But if they struck 4,000 arrows, how many arrows would have hit those tents? Hussein, he turns round, enraged. Do you attack my women and children whilst I am still alive? He enters into the battlefield back upon his horse. He rides towards them. He tries to get to the water again. They block his way. The narration says that he calls out, please give me a drop of water. They say to him, by Allah, we will not give you a drop of water. You will die thirsty. At this moment, they begin to surround him. They strike at him with everything that they have. They shoot their arrows towards him. They throw their spears towards him. Eventually, so many arrows strike his body and strike the body of Zul'Jadar that Hussein is unable to continue moving and continue fighting. He is slumped over his horse. Imam al-Baqir says, when my grandfather Hussein fell from the horse, there were more than 300 wounds in his body. When my grandfather Hussein fell from the horse, he had so many arrows in his body. His body resembled that of a hedgehog more than a human being. When my grandfather's body fell from the horse, there were so many arrows in his body. The arrows touched the ground before the body of Hussein touched the ground. Hussein is slumped on the horse. He falls from the floor falls towards the floor. At this moment, Hussein tries to use his sword in order to stand up, in order to find some strength, but he is unable to. At this moment, a person comes towards Hussein with a stone. He throws it at his forehead. It splits the forehead of Hussein open. Hussein takes his shirt. He lifts it and he wipes the blood from his forehead. Hurmala comes forward. He has an arrow. When he was caught and asked to describe the strikes that he gave, he said, this arrow, I doused it in poison. Oh Hurmala, why did you have to douse that arrow in poison? Hurmala comes forward. He puts that arrow into his bow. We are told that he comes in front of Imam at point blank range. He pulls that arrow back. He lets it fly. It strikes Imam al-Hussein in his heart. Imam al-Hussein's heart is struck by that arrow. It is said that the arrow goes so far into his chest that Imam has to pull it out from his back. He clasps the blood. He throws it towards the sky. Allah, Allah. The narration says that not a single drop of that blood returned back towards the ground. This was Allah saying, I have accepted your blood, your sacrifice, O Hussein. At this moment, they begin to surround Hussein. They dared not attack him, but now the call comes from Umar ibn Sa'ad, finish Hussein. One person comes. It is said that he strikes an arrow into the mouth of Abu Abdullah. Another person comes and takes his sword and strikes the left arm of Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah is lying on the floor in the pool of blood. One of the enemies reports, I have never seen a man more bludgeoned to death, struck by more blows than him, yet his face was shining at this moment in a way in which I have never seen a human being shine. Again, another time, a call comes out, finish Hussein, but no one comes there to do it. At this moment, Zainab comes running out of her tent. Zainab is coming to see what is happening. Zainab is standing on Tilla Zainabiyya. She calls out, O Umar ibn Sa'ad, will you look on whilst Hussein is being killed? He turns his face away in embarrassment. He calls out again, O army, is there not a single Muslim amongst you? None of them respond. But at this moment, the women and children are listening to the words of Zainab. What is happening in the hearts of Sajjad? What is happening in the hearts of Sakina at this moment? Oh Hussein, it is said that at this moment, a poet says that Zainab makes a dua. She says, O earth, O land of Karbala, O Tilla of mine, raise yourself higher so I get to see what is happening to my beloved Hussein. The poet says, Hussein responds back and says, O land of Karbala, I do not want Zainab to see what is about to happen to me at this moment. Again the call comes out, finish finish Hussein. None dares do it. They come and stab Hussein. They come and throw stones at Hussein. They come and throw more arrows at Hussein. One of the Marajis says that when Zainab came towards the body of Abu Abdullah before she departs, this is a land filled with broken swords, broken spears. This is a land filled with broken arrows. How did Zainab know which one was the body of Abu Abdullah? He says, because that body had so many arrows, so many stones thrown at it. This is how Zainab knew where was the body of Abu Abdullah Hussein. Again the call comes out, finish Hussein. They are all standing round him. There are 10 individuals that are standing around him, but none yet have the audacity to do anything. But they continue to strike, continue to abuse him. In these last moments again, Imam asks for water. Is there not a drink? But one man begins to step forward. Shimr bin Diljoshan comes towards Abu Abdullah. I will say at this moment the Anbiya are leaving the heavens. I will say at this moment Rasulullah is leaving the heavens. They're all watching this event from the sky. But I imagine that Fatima is not just watching this from the sky. She's looking on and saying, Shimr, what are you about to do to my son Hussein? Do you not see that there is a mother that is standing before Hussein at this moment? Shimr steps forward. He pulls out a blunt dagger. He sits upon the chest of Abu Abdullah. He grabs the beard of Hussein. He yanks it towards him. He takes out his dagger and he strikes again and again and again and again and again and again. There are 11 strikes upon the neck of Abu Abdullah. He lifts the head of Hussein aloft. Jibreel calls out, قد قتل الحسين بأرض كربلاء قد ذبح الحسين بأرض كربلاء. The earth begins to shake. Zainab is running back and forth. Do I look after my brother Hussein or do I look after the children? Martin Hussein